Big deal. Happy to have you back, my man. Week 3, Diddy trial. Gotta talk about it, man. I heard you and some dude got into an altercation up there. Like, what's the backstory behind that before we get into everything else?
I wouldn't call it an altercation, you know what I'm saying? Because that means somebody is capable of challenging you on your level. What happened was is that you get these YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, who want to make contact with you by yelling, screaming, and hollering and thinking that you gotta answer their questions. And they talking to a grown ass man like he's some kind of child or hollering at some kind of animal. See, I come to that court because I'm trying to see this thing through. I don't care what nobody say. I'm the one who initiated this whole thing and started talking about this dude behavior, his attitude, how he was treating people, what he was doing, way before any of his employees, way before anything. I took all the ridicule, from everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you was watching the internet when I first got on here, they was talking about, yo, this bum ass uh uh ex-bodyguard. I didn't have this and I didn't have that. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. But then when the facts start coming out that I was a New York State parole officer with my college degree, had my own house, own apartment, was given another house by my family, and they start seeing that I was one of the leaders and the founders of the same gang, which Puff came out of. I helped and I started slicking the family. You know what I'm saying? All these are Harlem crews, and they start seeing that the real people that was in New York City was like, yo, Gene was the man. Gene is this. You know what I'm saying? And they was wondering why I got on the internet. But I was given something to do, man. I don't care what nobody say. So I go to that court to see it through. You understand? I go to that court to make sure that I'm going to see the people that I love who got hurt behind this dude, that we get justice. And I just want to be there to see it. I didn't come there for somebody to be calling me out my name, talking all that, saying things that's irate. Yo, listen here. I'm a grown ass man. I raised 3 girls to be adults. I raised somebody else's sons to be adult men. You understand what I'm saying? So that makes me grown. I've raised people to be adults. I've helped people with their kids for them to become adults. So I'm a grown ass man and I don't need nobody, anybody. You just can't talk to me any kind of way or say whatever you want to say. Because then when we see each other, then express yourself as a man. So here this dude hollering, saying, call all kind of epithets, saying all kind of belligerent curse words, saying all kind of shit to me. And I'm like this. I'm like, yo, I played it cool when we was outside. Then when we got into the court, it was a whole different situation. You understand? It was a whole different situation. I went to him, I said, yo, bro, you had a lot of stuff to say outside. You understand? Yo, I got a lot of stuff to say now. That's what he said. I said, oh, what you got to say then? He said, yo, you got questions to answer. For who? I said, if you want me to answer questions, do interview. I got a booking number, then you do interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't going to tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang, protect your neck. And that's all I'm going to say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang, protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about. Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, because he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. And so I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera And then somebody called my name, he called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown ass man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, who worked up the ladder to become who they are, yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you choose to do, you choose to do that, bro. But I'm not the one you gonna do that to and then think it's gonna be all right to get on the elevator with me. I don't care where we at. I don't care where we at, what we gotta do, we gonna get it in. And I'm too grown and too old for that. But you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. And you ain't gonna say whatever you wanna say to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna disrespect me as a man and think it's all right to do that because you got a YouTube show, because you want to go viral, you want to do like that, you be ending up. I want to go to the next subject, man. Let's go to the next one, bro, because this is going to go somewhere that it shouldn't even go, bro. On a for real, for real. We all too grown for this shit, bro. But I'm not to be disrespected, and I'm not going to disrespect nobody else. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah, but before we move on, man, let me just say, add one more thing to this. When Miss Wallace asked me to get on Nick Bloomfield documentary, I got on Nick Bloomfield documentary. That was like in 99, somewhere around there. I got an A&E documentary, 2001. I got on VH1, MTV. All these was in the early 2000s before there was even a YouTube telling the story. You understand? I sat down with each one of those crews about anywhere from 3 to 5 hours telling them everything. Telling them everything. That's why can't nothing come up. When I was talking about how what Puff said about Suge, Pac, Big, everything. I told them everything. This stuff has been on, and I've been saying the same story since 99. I've been saying the same story since 97 when Miss Wallace set me in her living room. I ain't changed nothing, and I ain't gonna change nothing. You understand? There's certain things that you find out as we go because you know my motto. Facts will change your feelings, but feelings can't change your facts. That's my motto, bruh. So it's over the years, I found out some more stuff and some other things for professional people. People like myself that's higher than me, FBI agents. People who've been working on the case. You find out other things and you go on with that. But to all these little young YouTubers and everything like that, it's a couple of those guys who've been respectable. Now I'm gonna pull them to the side because I'm going back down there. Don't think that I'm not gonna be going down there, bro. I'm going back down there. You understand? So now, some of those YouTubers that's been respectable, you understand? I might like, yo, you can give me a question, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you one question. You understand? Because they was respectable when I come down there, they respectable. Now, people think I'm hiding. I'm not hiding, bro. You understand? I'm not hiding from nothing. These people don't do their due diligence, bro. When they come out here and they want to do a show, they don't do their due diligence. They let anybody come on their platform that's got a salacious story about anybody and say, oh, they told me. That don't mean a god thing, bro. Because somebody told you some bullshit. That don't mean nothing, bro. Do your due diligence if you want to have a successful channel. But if you just want to go viral, remember, you got to protect your neck. And I'm gonna give you something right now, because I don't want people to go and look at what they want to say because this dude want to go viral and stuff like that. I can beg any money. Gene Deal and Diddy never stayed at the Intercontinental in Atlanta. Never. We stayed at the Swiss Hotel. Do you hear what I'm saying? We never stayed at the Intercontinental in Atlanta. That's how I knew the shit was bogus. We always stayed at the Swiss Hotel. You will not find a debit, a credit, or any kind of card because you got to put your card up for room for your incidentals in your rooms. You will never find no card at the Intercontinental with Gene Deal name on there. None of that. Because I don't care whoever you travel with or whatever you did, they could be paying for the hotel. You always had to put a card up for your incidentals to your room. And we never stayed at the Intercontinental. So people could come up here and be bogus and tell lies and say whatever they want to say for the views, to go viral. It's all right. Just protect your neck, especially when you come around me.